All right, vid EO number 2. Your buddy Jason at before. Realist News from YouTube, of course. Before I get started, I'm going to link in this video kind of a mini, like a 7-minute documentary, if you will, from the guys over at Future Money Trends or Crush the Streets. The same guys have kind of a, again, mini, documentary, so to speak, about the coming problem, debt problem and whatnot that we probably going to be facing here in the near future. And I went and watched it. It's like, this is pretty decent. Let's put the word out there. And so that's what I'm doing. I will link that video in the description box below of this video. But I saw this. This is from a Canadian website, okay? And I'm thinking of all of the crybaby liberals. We're moving to Canada. We're going to go to school in Canada. We hate the USA. Not my president. I'm moving to Canada. Well, I got news for you. Not to mention this is liberal policies anyways, such as, anyone remember carbon credits, carbon taxes? The old Al Gore scam that was trying to get pushed on all of us. And I'll start off by telling you what the carbon credit scam is, because this may be in effect in some other countries, and it certainly, apparently, as of this article, is in effect to some extent in Canada now. Carbon tax. So what happens is, the original plan, the Al Gore plan, and this is the way they wanted it the whole time, is you're a company, and this is how it's going to start off. It'd start off with the companies, but then it's always going to get back down to the taxpayer, where ultimately you're included, but not off the bat. Right off the bat, it's just the companies. And the way it goes is, you're polluting. You're using too much carbon or producing too much carbon. And that might simply be, well, we're a large organization and a giant warehouse for Amazon, let's say Amazon, and we use an enormous amount of electricity, but we pay the bills, of course, no problem. We're not polluting here. We're not running some kind of pollution operation that has to have cleanup and that kind of. We're just turning the lights on and keeping the conveyor belts rolling around, keeping the forklifts going, so to speak. A lot of those indoor ones are electric. So, they got to be charged. Long story short, you're using a lot of electricity. Sure, you're paying your bill and the power company's happy, but you're using more than the average person. Therefore, you are causing the electric company to use more of their fuel, which is causing carbon footprint in the country to be a little bit larger. So you're only allowed X number of carbon credits. So let's say you're issued 2,000 carbon credits for a typical company your size. But a typical company your size doesn't use as much power as you do. So we're finding that you're using the equivalent of 3,000 carbon credits a month. Or I don't know if it's yearly or monthly. Let's call it whatever, monthly. So you're going to get charged or taxed on that pollution you're causing. But if there's another company that has carbon credit, which they do all have carbon credits if this goes through, if this is the way it's supposed to be, same scenario, you get 2,000 a month. You, on the other hand, have a large area here, but you're not using that much power. You're only using 1,000 out of the 2,000 you're allocated each month. So you can go on the quote-unquote online exchanges, like the markets, the commodities or stocks. You go into the carbon credit market and you can sell your extra carbon credits to someone else who needs them. So it's kind of like a share or like a stock or commodity. You just run it up on the exchange and, in this example, Amazon rolls in, we need that every month. We'll keep buying yours every month. We'll make an agreement now that you'll just sell them to us. So I sit back and say, well, hold on. You're still, quote-unquote, polluting according to the government. Yes, we are. None of that changed. But these credits got moved around so that you don't have to pay the fee. Correct. Which means the person who issued the credits to you, in this case this other company who's not using that much power, is simply making money selling their credits to you. Correct. So you're not slowing down. No, we're not. Matter of fact, we're opening another warehouse because we need more. Okay, so this has nothing to do with you polluting per se. You're going to continue doing business. Yes, correct. Okay, Just making sure we got that clear. So, to anyone wanting to go to Canada, apparently their little carbon tax scheme has been implemented. And if anyone knows their prime minister, Mr. Trudeau or whatever his name is, he is an extreme elitist puppet. Okay? That's been known for a long time. So this doesn't shock me that all of a sudden Canada's going to have to deal with this. But according to this Canadian website, ctvnews.ca, carbon prices pushes gas prices higher in Ontario, Alberta. Drivers in Ontario and Alberta rang in the new year with higher gas prices as provincial carbon pricing schemes came into effect. In Calgary, the cost of gasoline rose on average 3 cents overnight from 109 to about 112, according to website gasbuddy.com. In Toronto, prices also went up about 3 cents from 110 per liter, of course, to 113 per liter. The 3 cents per liter increase means it now costs about $2 more to fill up a standard vehicle's tank in those provinces. Ontario's cap and trade. Remember that? Remember the cap and trade? Remember that? Ontario's cap and trade program and Alberta's carbon tax, which both came into effect on January 1st, 2017, were expected to push up gas costs by 4.5 cents per liter in Alberta and 4.3 cents per liter in Ontario. Prices for diesel fuel and natural gas are also expected to rise. For example, Ontario's energy regulator says union gas bills will go up this month by between $4.65 and $13.54. The carbon pricing is part of a national strategy to reduce climate change causing carbon emissions by making polluters pay. You see, I didn't have to read this article. I only saw the headline like I usually do. I'll read sometimes a sentence or two, first paragraph, and I will realize right then and there, send this to myself in an email so I can do a video on this. This is worthy for my subscribers. I didn't read this part, but I already told you because I knew about Al Gore's nonsense and what they're trying to do with cap and trade. Carbon taxes worldwide, this is what they want. It has absolutely nothing to do with anybody polluting or to try to stop them from polluting as much. What in the hell is this going to do to someone driving their car every day to work and back, to work and back, Monday through Friday, work and back? Oh, I'm polluting. Gas prices went up, $2 a fill up, and I'm filling my tank up once a week. It's costing me, $2 per fill up extra. Okay, and where's that money going? To the tax scheme. Which is doing what? Nothing. Nothing. No one has reduced or will be reducing their carbon footprint. Again, this is a scheme to get more money out of your hands and into the club's hands. It's that simple. The carbon pricing is part of a national strategy to reduce climate change causing carbon emissions by making polluters pay. All provinces except Manitoba and Saskatchewan, if I pronounced that right, signed on to the federal Liberals agreement last month. Carbon pricing is nothing new. British Columbia has had a tax since 2008, and Quebec has participated in a cap and trade program since 2013. The federal Liberals have said that all Canadian provinces and territories must put a price on carbon in order to slow climate change, while the opposition Conservatives have argued it won't put a dent in global emissions but will manage to hurt businesses and consumers. Alberta's carbon tax of $20 per ton, rising to $30 per ton, by the way, which is a 50% increase, in 2018, so 1 year from now, is expected to cost families up to $443 per year, although rebates are available for middle and low income earners. Oh, need a rebate. Oh, you got that new 27-inch computer screen? Yeah, it's nice, man. I got that thing for $125 with a mail-in rebate. Carbon taxes? I'm sorry. Did you mail in your rebate? No, I didn't know I had to mail in a rebate. I thought it would be done through the taxes, IRS, or whatever you call it in Canada. Don't you just have a form? No, no. You see, it's kind of like the consumer electronics. You got to mail in a rebate. Oh, I did. Oh, honey. Oh, you did mail it. My wife said she mailed it in. Oh, we didn't get it. Did you send that certified mail? No, because it would cost me a couple extra dollars to do it certified. I have to go down to the post office to do it. I just put it in the mailbox. Yeah, we don't have that on file. Oh, so what? You have to wait till next year. Do it again. You're gonna have to pay the fine this time. I'm making that part up, by the way. But don't think for one second the government stooges haven't already thought of something. How can we squeeze more out? So if this is true, $443 per family, how many millions of families live in Canada? And I know the two areas aren't included yet, but whatever. That's a lot. Excuse me. That's a lot of income. That's a lot of it. $440 something per family. Matter of fact, let's do the math. How many families live in Canada? If that number can be found. Now this says 50 years of families in Canada census program. Do we have? Let me pause this so I can get the answer. Okay, so this is from 2011. So we've got 6 more years on top of that. So I'm going to round off just to be safe and call it an even 10 million families. It used to be 4.1 million from 1961 and 9.4 as of 2011. But again, we're in 2017 now. I'm going to round off a little bit. We're going to easily say 10 million families. So 10, let's get the exact number. I want to be accurate. Oh, JStep4 wants to be accurate. Got to be accurate, right? Don't want to give you anybody any fake news like the mainstream. $443. Yep, 443 times 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 million equals $4.4 billion. Now, I want you to think of something. How many millions of Americans are there? Well, matter of fact, let's do the same thing. How many families live in the USA? Population, how about families? Do we have families in here? Families and living arrangements, households. According to this, 2011 to 2015, households. So families, it says families and living arrangements, households 2011 to 2015, 116.9. Again, we're going to round that off because we're in 2017 now. It's 2 years difference. We're going to call that 117 million families. Okay? So 117 times 443. Ooh. We're only multiplying it by 10 million in Canada. And having said that, it's still $4.43 billion with a B, $billion of extra revenue coming in on 10 million people, families. So that's on 10 million people, that's a lot of money. Again, this has absolutely nothing to do with smog and carbon and this. Remember, when I said to you I first woke up, it was like 2005 and 6, but in 2005, my wife worked somewhere, and her boss gave her a couple of documentaries to take home or something, and one, he's like, you can watch it online. We got them, watched them. I was like, oh, wow, some interesting stuff. It was about peak oil. It caught my attention. Like, is it, that's an interesting thing. I never thought about that, It made me look. Then all of a sudden, Al Gore's thing comes out, which might have been in 2006 or 5. I don't remember. Oh, we got to go see it. So me and the wife went over there, and we left that movie theater saying, man, that son of a gun should have been the president. That freaking Bush squeaked it out and won. Boy, he really cares about the environment and people. And Al Gore, oh, yeah. But I wanted to do more research. And now I'm very interested. What about what he's talking about, climate change? So I start doing the research. Oh, that's a lie. Oh, that's not true, Al Gore said. Oh, here's data from NASA that disputes that. Whoa. Oh, and here's the years of global warming he's talking about that are accepted in the whole community of the world community of when warming was said to have started. Okay. Well, that's interesting. We have scientific data on other planets in our solar system that all heated up During this, well, that's fascinating. During the same exact time frame? Wow. Light bulb goes off instantaneously. We humans aren't on Jupiter or Saturn or Venus or Mars or... Wait a minute. How could they be heating and us on Earth, Earth be heating during the same time periods if we humans are the cause of the heating of Earth because of our pollution and carbon nonsense? It took me all of, a couple milliseconds to quickly realize this is a lie, because that data was very powerful for me when I saw the other planets were heating up. Okay, there's nothing you're going to be able to now. I don't care what you show me now. You're not going to say because Earth heated up, the rest of the planets felt bad for Earth, and so we'll heat up with you, keep you comfortable. We don't want you to have your feelings hurt. We're here for you, buddy. No, that led me to realizing changes on the sun itself causes changes on the planets. Ooh, that's interesting. So that was my beginning of waking up 2005, 2006. Realized, Al Gore, you piece of garbage. I almost bought into it. If I would have stopped right there, I would have bought into it. But it bothered me about all these things I thought I knew about and didn't know about, and I didn't know these were problems. Now I want to look into it. And boy, did I start looking into stuff. And I haven't stopped, and I can't stop. I couldn't stop if my life depended on it. I would not be able to stop researching and reading things every single day and exposing the fraud and corruption of the club and the likes of Al Gore. So this is utter nonsense. There will be no usefulness out of this program other than to squeeze more money out of the citizenry for the club. Take care.